The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, is a shield for the vulnerable and a thorn in the side of big banks. Created in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, the CFPB promised to protect consumers from predatory lending and financial abuse, but its existence has been marked by controversy. To some, the CFPB is a heroic force, fighting for the little guy against powerful financial institutions. To others, it's a symbol of government overreach, stifling innovation and economic growth. This stark divide in opinion reflects the deep political fault lines the CFPB straddles. Its very creation was a hard-fought victory for Democrats, championed by then-Senator Elizabeth Warren. Republicans, largely aligned with the interests of the financial industry, have viewed the CFPB with suspicion, often accusing it of regulatory overreach and hostility towards businesses. The CFPB's mission is simple: to ensure that consumers are treated fairly by banks, lenders, and other financial institutions. This broad mandate has allowed the CFPB to tackle a wide range of issues, from predatory payday loans to discriminatory lending practices. It has the power to investigate complaints, impose fines, and even sue companies that violate consumer protection laws. The agency's impact is undeniable. Since its inception, the CFPB has handled millions of consumer complaints, returning billions of dollars to those who were wronged. But its aggressive approach has also drawn criticism, particularly from Republicans in the financial industry, who argue that the CFPB's regulations stifle innovation and harm economic growth. For many Americans, the CFPB has been a lifeline. The agency has become a powerful advocate for consumers who have been taken advantage of by financial institutions. From securing refunds for victims of illegal foreclosures to cracking down on abusive debt collection practices, the CFPB has a long list of victories to its name. Its website features countless stories of individuals who credit the CFPB with righting wrongs and holding powerful financial institutions accountable. One such story is that of Sarah, a single mother who was struggling to make ends meet after a divorce. Sarah took out a payday loan hoping to bridge a financial gap until her next paycheck. But the loan came with exorbitant interest rates and hidden fees that quickly spiraled out of control, trapping Sarah in a cycle of debt she couldn't escape. Desperate, Sarah filed a complaint with the CFPB. The agency investigated her case and discovered that the payday lender had engaged in predatory lending practices, targeting vulnerable consumers like Sarah. The CFPB took action against the lender, securing Sarah a refund and helping her get back on her feet. Sarah's story is not unique. The CFPB has helped millions of Americans like her, providing a voice to those who felt powerless against the might of the financial industry. It has become a beacon of hope for consumers who have been wronged, demonstrating that even the little guy can fight back against powerful corporations and win. The CFPB's work has had a tangible impact on the lives of ordinary Americans. It has returned billions of dollars to consumers who were victims of unfair or deceptive practices. Its enforcement actions have led to significant reforms in the financial industry, forcing companies to change their behavior and treat consumers more fairly. The CFPB's very existence has been a source of constant political battle. Republicans, often aligned with the interests of the financial industry, have long sought to weaken or dismantle the agency. They argue that the CFPB is an example of government overreach, stifling innovation and economic growth with burdensome regulations. This opposition intensified during the Trump administration, which made no secret of its disdain for the agency. Former President Donald Trump, a longtime critic of the CFPB, called the agency a disaster and a total disgrace. He appointed Mick Mulvaney, a former Republican congressman and a staunch CFPB critic, as acting director. Mulvaney wasted no time in implementing his deregulatory agenda, rolling back rules, dropping investigations, and reducing enforcement actions. Trump later appointed Kathy Kraninger, a former White House budget official with little experience in consumer finance, as the agency's permanent director. Trump's efforts to undermine the CFPB were met with fierce resistance from Democrats and consumer advocates. They argued that Trump's actions were politically motivated and would leave consumers vulnerable to predatory lending and other abuses. The battle over the CFPB became a microcosm of the larger partisan divide in Washington, with Democrats fighting to protect the agency and Republicans seeking to weaken it. The Trump administration's efforts to defang the CFPB had a significant impact on the agency's ability to fulfill its mission. Enforcement actions plummeted under Trump's appointees, and the agency took a more hands-off approach to overseeing the financial industry. Consumer advocates argued that these changes emboldened bad actors in the financial industry, leading to an increase in predatory lending and other abuses. The debate over the CFPB's role and power is far from over. The agency's future remains uncertain as Republicans continue to push for its dismantling, arguing that it stifles innovation and harms economic growth. They have proposed various measures to weaken the CFPB, including subjecting it to the congressional appropriations process, which would give lawmakers greater control over its budget. Democrats, on the other hand, remain steadfast in their support for the CFPB, arguing that it plays a crucial role in protecting consumers from predatory lending and other abuses. They point to the agency's track record of success, highlighting the billions of dollars it has recovered for consumers and the reforms it has implemented in the financial industry. The Biden administration has made it clear that it intends to restore the CFPB's authority and reverse many of the Trump-era changes. President Biden has called the CFPB a critical agency and has pledged to appoint a director who will vigorously enforce consumer protection laws. The future of the CFPB will likely be decided by the courts, as legal challenges to its structure and authority make their way through the judicial system. The outcome of these cases will have far-reaching implications for the agency's ability to protect consumers and hold financial institutions accountable.